Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve, and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you pressing that subscribe button. Today I will be reviewing Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim in one take. So, let's go. War of the Rohirrim takes place 183 years before the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This movie follows Hera, the daughter of King Helm Hammerhand. A lord named Freka goes to Helm Hammerhand with his son Wolf in order to try and convince the king to marry Hera to Wolf instead of a lord of Gondor. He refuses this proposal and starts a chain of events that will lead to the devastating War of the Rohirrim. Um, not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. So I'm not going into this movie with tons of information or nostalgia or the ability to recognize a lot of the names in the story or certain expectations that fans of the Lord of the Rings might have. I did notice a couple of set pieces and Gandalf is brought up in conversation, but that's really all I recognized. I bring up this point because I've been looking at a lot of reactions to this movie, and I found that there seems to be a lot of negativity because this movie is stretched out from about 4 pages of text. I'm trying to judge the movie on its own merits, and I think it told a nice and complete and compelling story, and that is what I want from a movie. What I appreciated about the War of the Rohirrim is that it somehow was able to deliver exposition in a way that felt natural and kept me really informed. I knew nothing about the politics of this area, but by the end of the film, I felt that I knew this part of the world fairly intimately. I was not overwhelmed with the geopolitics presented here, and the lore provided a nice texture to the motivations of the different characters. The movie gives enough information to really define the stakes involved and give context to the decisions made. That being said, I think one of my larger criticisms of the film is that it seemed a little bit too long. Especially towards the end, I felt a couple of the scenes could have been cut or be a little shorter. The movie is over 2 hours, which is a lot. Though I think the movie does earn its length in a lot of ways. I found the cadence of battles and fights along with the political and interpersonal intrigue to be pretty great. The movie does take the time to show us how these wars and sieges affect everyone. How long do you expect people to be hungry and cold for? How do you pacify mercenaries when you're out of money? How are you able to convince allies to help you when you may have alienated them? There's a lot to ingest, and I really enjoyed how this movie delved into the toils of war, something that I think is often forgotten or not considered in these types of movies, so I really enjoyed it here. I still think a couple of scenes could have been cut and kept the depth of the movie intact. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I liked the animation of this movie. It uses 3D realistic scenes as backgrounds, and the characters exist in a 2D image. This is definitely a choice that might not appeal to everyone, and I totally understand why. Like I said, I'm not sure how much I loved this aspect, though I do appreciate it. The backgrounds were very beautiful and sometimes looked like they were realistic images, not even animated. And I thought the character designs were all pretty fantastic. They were unique enough where I didn't get any of the characters mixed up, and some of the graphic brutality of war looked very visceral. But some of the animation itself seemed to cut some corners. There were a couple of scenes where the characters seemed to move a little more jaggedy than I would have liked. Nothing completely backbreaking or took me out from enjoying the movie, but enough to notice. One final note about the animation is that I found the fight sequences really entertaining. They looked incredibly heavy and intricate, and I found them captivating. The voice acting of this film was fantastic. The voices all felt they fit the characters specifically, and I really want to point out Brian Cox's Helm Hammerhand as doing a tremendous job. He needed to be this stoic and stubborn, larger than life character, and he completely nailed this. Overall, I enjoyed Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim. It packed a lot of action into very little time. It gave me a pretty large cast of characters to care about. I just wish it was a little shorter. I found it thoroughly entertaining and fun, and think if that's what you're looking for, you'll find it. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.